It sounds like a riddle. What company invented the world's first digital camera in 1975 and yet filed for bankruptcy in 2012, crushed by the digital revolution? The answer: Kodak. This is a story many think they know. The common version: Kodak was a stubborn giant, blind to the future, that it simply missed the boat on digital photography. But that version isn't just incomplete, it misses the most important lesson. The truth is subtler and far more useful, especially for small business owners. Kodak didn't fail for lack of technology, it failed because it mismanaged its money. The seeds of Kodak's demise were financial, not technical. Cash is oxygen, and they forgot that rule. To truly understand what happened inside Kodak, we need to move past the headlines and look at the engine room of the business, its finances. The story of its decline was written in financial statements long before it was written in newspapers. Two specific numbers act as our guide. They are not complicated accounting terms. They are simple, powerful indicators of a company's health and ability to handle surprises. The first is the cash reserve ratio, how long a business can survive. The second is research and development spending, investment in your own future. Kodak's great mistake was misreading both. Think of cash reserve as your business's emergency fund. Total cash divided by monthly operating expenses. That number is your runway. A low cash reserve ratio is like crossing a desert with only a small water bottle. You might be fine if the journey is short, but any delay becomes a crisis. For Kodak, the 2000s were a long, hot desert. Digital cameras and later smartphones caused film profits to plummet. It wasn't a slow decline, it was a cliff. That should have signaled hoard cash and build a buffer. Instead, history consumed their cash. Massive obligations, pensions, and environmental cleanup kept draining money. As income shrank, outflows stayed high. The cash reserve was squeezed from both sides. That lack of buffer limited options. No big acquisitions, no heavy digital marketing, no tolerance for losses. Time was running out. Cash buys time. For a small business owner, know your cash runway at all times. It's the clock that determines if you can make payroll, pay suppliers, and seize opportunities. Aim for 3 to 6 months of operating expenses. That runway lets you survive a slow season, recover from losing a big client, or fund a promising idea. It turns you from reactive to proactive. Calculating your cash reserve is simple. First, add up cash you can access quickly, checking and savings. Second, calculate average monthly fixed costs, rent, salaries, loan payments, software subscriptions, insurance, utilities. Be honest and thorough. Divide the first number by the second. The result is your runway in months. If that number makes you uncomfortable, good, act now. Trim non-essential expenses or launch a small short-term sales campaign. Knowing this number is the first step toward financial resilience. For example, $10,000 in cash and $5,000 in monthly expenses equals 2 months of runway, your survival clock. Spending on R&D is essential for growth, but how you spend matters more than how much. Kodak invested billions, held thousands of patents, developed core DSLR tech, and created early OLED displays. The problem wasn't ideas. It was failing to commercialize the right ones at the right time. R&D was trapped in a culture afraid to disrupt the golden goose. Film. Think of your R&D budget as a portfolio of seeds. Some are reliable crops, others are experiments. A wise farmer allocates to both. Kodak kept planting its best seeds in film, hesitating to fund revolutionary digital concepts. They saw digital as a weed threatening the primary crop. That mindset turned R&D from an engine of growth into internal conflict and missed opportunities. Don't confine R&D to one big risky project. Run multiple small, fast, cheap experiments. Instead of 6 months and 50,000, spend 1 week and 500 on a landing page. Use customer surveys, social media polls, and small batch prototypes. Test assumptions before committing resources. Treat R&D as a conversation with customers. Share early. Get feedback. Let the market guide investment. Validate big ideas, step by step, so dollars go to problems people want solved. 2 moments illustrate Kodak's financial fragility and misguided R&D. In 1975, engineer Steve Sasson presented the first filmless camera. The clunky prototype recorded a 0.01 megapixel image onto a cassette tape. They were intrigued by the tech but terrified of the implications. That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it. A digital camera threatened the whole ecosystem. Cameras, film, chemicals, paper. They filed patents but delayed commercialization. Competitors caught up. Sony, Canon, Fuji. In the 2000s, Kodak tried to catch up with EasyShare and Kodak Gallery, but precarious cash and legacy costs hurt execution. They couldn't afford price or marketing wars. Fighting 2 fronts, they clung to prints while the world embraced free sharing. Technical ability wasn't enough without runway and courage. If we distill Kodak's decline into one lesson, cash strategy is the foundation. Your brilliant product, clever marketing, and talented team are all vulnerable if you run out of money. Cash provides the buffer to weather storms. It gives you space to think, to experiment, to pivot. Kodak had innovation, but cash was constrained by the past, so it couldn't invest in the future. It ran out of time. Cash reserves and R&D are symbiotic. 6 months of runway makes a $2,000 test a manageable risk. With buffer, small failures are affordable. Without it, R&D feels like a survival gamble, breeding risk aversion. The first rule: know and protect your cash runway. This is not a task to delegate entirely. As the leader, keep an up-to-the-minute feel. Your cash runway is your business's health score. Ignoring it is like flying without a fuel gauge. Make it visible. Do the math today. Add all available cash. List every recurring expense, rent, payroll, including your salary, software, loans, insurance, utilities, inventory. Cash divided by monthly expenses equals runway in months. This is your number. Write it down. Under 3 months, take action. Calmly and deliberately, cut or pause non-essentials. Renegotiate terms, consider cheaper tools. Small savings add up and extend runway. Pull in cash faster. Flash sales. Early payment discounts. Low effort packages. Change how you think about innovation. Stop chasing one perfect launch. Start a continuous stream of small, fast, inexpensive experiments. This is how you de-risk the future. Kodak treated innovation as a massive, high-stakes bet behind closed doors. A resilient business places many small bets and learns quickly. Create a simple testing system. Idea. Build simple test. Measure results. Learn and repeat. Test assumptions. Describe your premium features on a page with a sign up for early access button. Drive $100 in traffic. Measure clicks, not sales yet. Log each experiment, hypothesis, test, budget, metric. Aim for, say, a 5% click-through. Opinion becomes data. Failed tests save bigger money. Start with as little as $50 a week. Run one small experiment every week. Try new headlines, posts, or 5 customer calls. Replace luck with a repeatable discovery process. The third rule ties the first two together. Formally link your cash strategy and innovation strategy. It's not enough to have a healthy reserve and a test process. You need a system that funds innovation sustainably without risking the core. Create a dedicated budget for experimentation separate from operations. This is your innovation reserve. It plays by different rules. Funded profit first. Each month or quarter, take a small fixed percent, say 10%, and transfer it into a separate innovation account. That ensures funding only when healthy and creates a tangible budget. Set spending rules, not for regular bills or shortfalls, exclusively for validated learning. Every dollar needs a documented hypothesis and success metric. Audit quarterly. Double down on winners, stop losers, reallocate for the next round. Choose one of these three rules and implement the first step this week. Think of it in practical terms. 2 coffee shop owners. First owner, 1 month runway. $2,000 for a website and test ads is terrifying. If it fails, she might miss a rent. Second owner, 6 months runway. $2,000 is a manageable risk. He can run the test, learn, continue, pivot, or stop without jeopardizing the core. Strong cash equals freedom to innovate. Manage finances to back innovation, not block it. Protect your runway relentlessly. Place small, smart bets. Build a business that lasts. Protect that runway. The biggest lesson from Kodak is to always audit your systems. Which of the 3 resilient boss rules are you going to implement in your business this week? Drop your answer in the comments. And for more strategic financial deep dives like this, join the Resilient Boss community by hitting the subscribe button. Stay resilient. Lead the change.